Oh, Real Talk with Ramo. Oh, I'm Whitney.
Y'all gotta do
Okay,
ready?
Okay, so go.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Janelle.
And this is Real Talk with Ramos. Oh, I don't even know the Disney jingle like that.
Do
That's
it
bad.
one more time, man.
Okay.
This is gonna stay in the video though. Is it? No.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's gonna get clipped because I should know the Disney jingle. Okay. What's it? I'm Whitney.
I'm Janelle.
And this is Real Talk with Ramos.
Okay, reporting to you live. We back again.
Back again.
Back to back, Maybach stacked.
Back again.
I was about to sing the other lyric, but I forgot. I don't know what it is.
Maybach music? All I know is Maybach music. All I can think is Rick Ross every time I hear Maybach.
Maybach music.
Maybach music.
Maybach music.
This is Rick Ross.
Ashton Martin music. Music. What's the verse after that?
Oh.
Hello?
I don't know the verse. I have no idea what the verse is.
You know what I think about sometimes?
What?
I think about the fact of like, as kids, we would be like singing songs that we had no business singing. Like,
Listen.
no tea, no shade. I would be screaming Bedrock to the moon.
Bedrock is not for you, girl.
Bedrock is not for me currently. It wasn't for me then, and it's not for me now.
Yeah.
It's not a part of my shit.
Listen.
But the fact that like I realized did not have no idea what I was singing, that's crazy.
That goes the same with shows. So there's some childhood shows I watched back, and I'm like, the
Mm.
subliminal messages y'all got going on in there.
Cause y'all
I'm
be
reporting y'all.
okay. What shows?
For instance, The Simpsons had some stuff going on in there.
You were watching The Simpsons?
Yes, I was watching The Simpsons. But you ain't never watched The Simpsons?
Not as a kid. Like I tried to watch like a season when it was on Disney Plus, and I just couldn't get into it. It's The Simpsons is very if you were there, like you had to be there.
Oh, I used to
For
watch
me.
it like crazy. And now I watch it back and I'm like, y'all got some weird stuff going on in here.
And then like I think God is so good because that all those stuff flew over our heads. Because if we would have caught it
and
glory.
kept it,
glory,
we would have been in. We would need a deliverance session.
deliverance session for real.
Exactly.
But that's so wild today. Like what we was watching as kids. But there were some shows that like my parents would be mad at that I'm like, nah, it's not that bad. Like I can't even lie to you. Okay, I'm gonna admit something. I cannot watch Twitches or Twitches 2 in the dark. I need a light on. I'm sorry, like I am one of those people where it's like, look, just turn on the light for me. Like I can do it without the light. Like I could watch it in the dark, in the dark.
Not even, like, I thought you was going to say, like, Insidious, The Conjuring.
Because that's
The Nun.
The Nun.
Have you seen
I
that?
don't want
Don't
none
watch it.
of that. Like, what are you talking about?
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
No.
I watched it once, and I was like, this is my last time watching a scary movie. I had
Okay,
the
let's
light
talk
on.
about it.
I had the light on. I was in my aunt's room. I think I had asked my aunt, I was just like, do you happen to have some blue mustard tea or anointing oil or something? I'm not sure, because I need anointing right now. Because what I just watched, I had no business watching.
So can I ask you, why did you indulge in those things as a child?
So, as a child growing up, I always used to be the wimp of the family. Like, I never wanted, like, I was scared of fireworks. That's like, I used to be scared of everything. Cats, dogs, fireworks, you name it. But when it came to, don't name it. But when it came to the scary movies, I was like, yo, I'm that dog, alright? I won't be scared. And then I would watch the movie, pillow over my face, because ain't no way this is going on right now. Ain't no way you had a chance to get out that house, and you decided you was going to go back in. It's your fault. Whatever happened to you next Ain't no way you ran past the door that was open.
They always do it. And then Sally trips. And then she want everybody to go back for her. I'm not going back for you.
Ain't no way. And the black people always getting killed first. That's another thing. I always felt like I'm in danger if something happened around me and my friends.
And see, there are moments where I blame my parents, and there are moments where I thank my parents. These are one of them. As scary as it got, the only place that I watched a scary movie was with my cousins. Because sometimes older cousins are not good for you. They're just not good for you. So I think it was Freddy Krueger on Nightmare Street.
Oh yeah, that was my movie right there. But actually, okay, so I used to watch it, but I don't watch it now. Mainly because I'm a dreamer. God speaks to me through my dreams. So I have no business in a movie where Satan is mishandling dreams like that. I have no business doing that. But go ahead.
I see God didn't give you this other kid, because for me, I already knew what time it was. I'm a dreamer as well too. So I was like, it's gonna give me nightmares. I don't know why you ain't put that together, but there's no condemnation in Christ Jesus, our Lord and Savior. So it's fine. So I watched Freddy Krueger on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare
on Elm Street. I have no business remembering that name.
It's okay. It's already there.
I'm forgetting.
So Nightmare on Elm Street, and I remember like he was in like some dump truck or like some garbage area. Do you remember that scene?
Oh yeah, and then his arms came out like long. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that. I have no business remembering that.
And I was scarred for life, and I told my cousin, I said, listen, I don't want to watch this. Can we just put on some Disney Channel? But it was Saturday. Haitians, you know what time it is. It's TBN. Saturday. TBN. VeggieTales. And I was such a bad kid. Like, everybody would know the VeggieTales names. And I'm like, bro, don't nobody care about no VeggieTales. That I miss Saturday night premieres on Disney and Nickelodeon. Like, that's all I care about.
You're not old enough for this, but we used to have David and Goliath, or Davy and Goliath. And then we used to have Bible Man. It was a superhero, and he used to use Bible scriptures to defeat his enemies.
Go off.
Yes.
I would have liked that. Like, all I remember is like seeing puppets, right?
Oh no, not the puppets.
The puppets. And like there was this one puppet, like, and it was a snake. It was a snake. Oh my gosh, if I find the show, I'm gonna tell you. It was a snake, and that man real life hard down. I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, guys, please change the channel. It was a hot mess. And like, my parents scarred me because they never let me watch anything. So like, everybody was watching Bad Girls Club, Love and Hip Hop. They be talking about it.
Business out.
Oh, so you see how you revealed your own self, like, because what's done in the dark will come in the light. Nobody even said your name.
That was me as a kid. I wanted to be like my cousins so bad.
I told you, our cousins are not great for you. Like, sometimes they're just not good for you.
Sometimes they're not. Cause I wanted to be like them so bad. And then I feel like my parents moved us to like 2 hours away because they didn't want us to be like my cousins. So then I was like, you know what? We blood, so we gonna end up like each other one way or another. That's how I felt. So then I was going watching Bad Girls Club, Love and Hip Hop, every area. Miami, Atlanta. Was there in New York? I'm not sure.
Yes, there was.
There was in New York. I was watching that. I was watching scary stuff. I was watching all the latest South Florida dances on YouTube. So when I got back here to visit, I could Wu-Tang better than you, even though I haven't been here. I would be able to Wu-Tang.
Okay, but that's good though. Like, that's working on your craft. But like scary movies and other stuff, like that didn't do nothing. However, we're not gonna play like Bad Girls Club wasn't giving us quality reality show. I'm sorry. We like I only know them because I'm on Instagram. I promise you I don't watch them. Like Jocelyn's Cabaret, Blueface's Little House or whatever. They not doing it like Bad Girls Club was doing it. Like, they not doing it.
I'm never gonna watch Jocelyn in my life. I'm never gonna watch.
I think Jocelyn and that is so funny. No, I think Blueface and Krishan, Thank you, audience. We have someone special in the audience. She not gonna want me to say her name,
Shout
but
out
you already
to
know.
her.
You already know who it is.
Shout out.
Y'all know her as the camp champ, but we won't say too much. We won't say too much. But let's talk about it. Blueface and Krishan. I think she looked deranged every time I see her.
No.
And I feel sorry for her because what's going on? I'm confused.
I just feel like she needs help. Like, she needs help and guidance. I don't, from the Lord. Like,
No,
she needs,
seriously.
she needs special people in her life. But, like, I feel like she's been, however she is right now, I feel like she's been influenced. I don't like to follow that story because I feel like.
No, neither do I. It just pops up on my Instagram feed from time to time.
Yeah. I feel like she needs help. And she needs to help herself. Like, and now she has a baby. Just, her and her baby they need to be first priority in their life. And I know that now she has, as a mother, you know, your instincts change. You know, you change. I'm not a mother, but I'm just saying, seeing my cousins go from where they're that to mothers, I've seen them change. I've seen a lot of people like that. But it's just important in some situations to put yourself first. That's what it's not. You know, sometimes you don't learn necessarily from like good people. Sometimes you learn from the people that are actually doing bad, and you learn that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to be. That's not how I want my life to go.
Sometimes you don't have to go through the fire to learn the lesson.
Exactly.
Sometimes you can just watch somebody else and then
Get
like
burned.
you get it. Like your friend got burnt and you like, I feel the heat. You know what?
For instance, I burned my mom told me not to touch that stove, and I was that child. I decided I was going to put my hand. Yeah, I was that child.
So every motivational speaker, every pastor, when they talk about that child, that's you.
That's me. That was me. That's not me. That was me. Because I learned my lesson.
Born a new
But my sister ain't have to learn that lesson because she watched me get burned, and she also watched me get beat after I got burned.
So how you get beat and burned?
My parents are the type of people that are just like you getting into your situation is not trouble enough. Like, now I gotta whoop you.
Oh my gosh, whoopings. Let's go through the whooping story. I will never forget this one. It was so good. So I was, oh my gosh, if you're from Broward, I don't even know that girl. I think it's on Boulevard of Champions or Champion Boulevard something.
Oh.
It's I don't know what it's called, North Broward Academy of Excellence, something like that, or not y'all. Yes,
yeah,
this is the plaza with the Burger King.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I had did something, and my dad called me. He was like, "Just get ready. When you get home, it's over. It's clipped for you." I said, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." So so I came home from school. I didn't say no. He said it in the car as I'm going home. So I'm like, all right. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is how I know I was a schemer as a kid. I went home. I put on like 5-6 pair of pants because at school I'm like, guys, like I need to know what to do. No.
And
I put on 5-6 pair. Huh?
That's the advice they give you.
They're kids. What else do they have for me? That's the best advice I have for myself. I took the advice. I'm a kid. So I put on the 5-6 pair of pants, right? And I just made it look like put on a big shirt, made it look like it was nothing. So then I'm like going throughout the whole day, like night at my house. I'm like staying in my room. I'm acting like I'm asleep. Man, I'm so tired. Oh my gosh, I have so much homework. I go to sleep. I wake up. I'm hot. Oh my gosh, turn the fan on. I still have my 6 pairs of pants on. Dad forgot to whoop me, but I was prepared for anything. So the lesson is, don't do anything stupid for your dad to whoop you. But if he does, put on 6 pair of pants, be nice. I don't know. So
Okay,
favorite whooping story.
My favorite whooping story is not about me. It's about my cousins. So honestly, those kids together all the time.
Right. Get into it.
I wasn't I wasn't built for whooping. My parents knew that I'm too skinny. The moment you whoop me, I'm dying. Call CBS because you just killed your child. Call CBS right now. 'Cause at that point, when I was younger, I used to be like, you know, those commercials that be like, we need to feed the kids in Africa. I look like one of them kids you needed to feed.
Oh no, glory be to God.
I look like one of them kids you need to feed. So my favorite whooping story is by my cousin.
Okay.
I got two. One, they didn't get whooped. The other, they did get whooped. So my mom is famous for her big eyes. Okay.
Right.
The moment
We
you get into
see
trouble,
genetically, the Punnett square showed it perfectly.
Yeah.
It translated perfectly.
it translated right into it. Yeah.
So that's why
she had cooked something. One of my cousins, she used to live with her sister and her nieces, or my cousins. One of my cousins wanted some of the food that she cooked.
Mm-hmm.
Then her sisters were just, my cousin's sisters were just like, okay, like we want some food, just because their sister asked for something.
Mm-hmm.
So then my cousin went to go take a bite. She was like, nah, but I don't like this. I don't want to eat it. So then the other two was just like, you know what? We don't want to eat it either. You know, they following the horse.
Following the leader.
Following the
monkey see,
leader.
monkey do.
Monkey see, monkey do. My mom went, took a belt, laid it on the table. They all start crying, right?
Why?
They all start crying. Because now if they don't eat it, they're about to get whooped.
Why?
My mom took out she was only going to make a certain amount of food for them. So now she had, only for her. Now that she had to make more.
She cried for that. Why would you do that?
Now that she had to make more, my mom was like, oh, now y'all gonna eat it. Y'all gonna eat it. So then they all started to cry. So then my mom was like, all right, she lifted up the belt, was about to start whooping it. They had to eat the whole plate. My mom said they ate the whole plate along with their tears and their snot mixed into the food. Because all their tears and snot went into the food. That's that. Second story is I was told that my cousin got in trouble for fighting at school, you know. They always used to fight. And then they got home expecting for their mom to whoop them, and their mom ain't do nothing. You know, they go through the whole day, they cautious and stuff, they're like, their mom won't ask
Oh, she a menace.
Wait until they got in their bed, comfortable. I'm lying on the bed to sleep. Hear the door open and she start going to town on her kids. Right when you about to hit that good sleep, that's when she bounces into the room, start beating everyone. I'm like, just act like I'm dead at this point. Whitney, don't move, because if you move, you about to be next. Just act like you asleep. So me and my sister just laying there like, dang. My sister grabbing onto me like tightly. I'm like, Jet, don't move. Don't move. If we don't move, she not gonna notice us. If we don't move, it's like we not there. So just all we gotta do is just sit there. So we just sat there.
God.
Literally. I was so scared. I wasn't even the one getting whooped, and tears were rolling down my eyes. I was silently in my covers, just crying. And I'm like,
oh my God, why would you do that?
When she finally left, I was like, I didn't realize I was holding the breath I was holding. I said, I just let go of the bed. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus.
You so selfish, nothing happened to you.
Nah, because my family, my aunts, especially, they're the type of person that if you in the way, or if they see you, you would target too. So I don't want to be. Once they start pulling out the belt, I'm gone.
So
I'm not gonna be in the proximal area. I'm not gonna be in your peripheral vision. Shoot, I might as well not be in the house. I might as well just take a walk to the corner store while you get your beating on. Cause I'm not getting beat too.
So you're hearing your cousins get whooped, and this is you.
Not even, you know when you just be sleeping. I couldn't move. I was so scared. My whole body, I went into shock. I was like, I literally just sat there. I just held my breath.
Oh my god.
And the tears just come down and my sister just grabbing at my shirt like this. And I'm like, please don't move. Please. That whole night I was scared to go to sleep again. Meanwhile, you know when you get a good whooping and all you can do is sleep? They slept good that night and then went back to sleep. Meanwhile,
oh my gosh, what?
Meanwhile, me, I was scared she was about to come back in. I was like, I gotta be vigilant. Because if there's one thing about these Haitians, they gonna find a reason to whoop you. I'm not about to have you come up into the room having me whooped for something I did 3 days ago. Usually, if you about to come whoop me, I'm ready. Because if there's one thing these Haitians can't do, it's run. So I'm a dip.
Oh my gosh, like Haitians are so terrible. Like,
if there's one thing about me, you ain't gonna have to worry about me no more.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
I'm dipping. Don't worry about me.
So like, I had this thing, right? I'm sorry, y'all. Like, that was too funny. Oh my days. So let me tell you the most ridiculous reason I got whooped, right? So it was one night, and my dad told me no tea, no shade. My dad told me to go put something in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
I heard freezer. So I went to go put it in the freezer.
No.
So then my dad called me, Janelle. I said, oh my gosh, father. Hey, what's going on? He said, with the belt in hand. So you imagine walking up from your room to the kitchen. You're like, oh my gosh. I said, hey, Dad, how are you? Are you enjoying do you need me to do something for you? He goes, where did you put the drink? I said, oh my gosh, I did what you instructed. I said, no, I put it in the freezer. What are you talking about? He said, I told you to put it in the fridge. Turn around. Where's the bag? Oh my gosh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where it is. Oh, it's right there. Y'all, I was sleeping. Y'all, it said turn around. I said, are you serious? I said, there's no way you're serious, you're joking. He said, turn around. Oh, what? Turn it. I said, and that's what I knew. I said, Haitians, you are despicable. And mind you, I told my mom, this was when my mom was in her quiet era, she said, bon, I don't know what to do. I said, talk to your husband much, baby. Oh my gosh.
I've never had a whooping that I deserved except once.
Oh, really?
Once. Okay, once.
Okay, so let's talk about the one you didn't deserve first.
Okay, so we went to Walgreens, right? And I looked at these. It was a pack of Lip Smackers lip gloss.
Ooh.
I said, Mommy, can you buy it? I said, Mom, can you buy it for me?
Oh.
My mom is like David. She doesn't let me touch nothing, look at nothing in the store.
I'm not calling you out on. That's crazy.
Nothing, right? So she turned her back. I took the Lip Smackers and then I put them in my little hoodie I had. I put them in my jacket.
Boom.
I was so scared to go through them little theft detectors thing. I passed through, no issue. I said, whew.
Okay.
So then I was like, you know what? I started feeling the conviction, right? So I took them out my jacket and I put it under the seat so I could be like, so I could act like I found it under the seat. Like, Mom, did you buy this? But my sister got to it first, and before I could tell her to shut up, she said, "Oh, and I looked at her, and she was like, Mommy, look what Whitney took from the start. Immediately, I started busting out crying. No, I said no. My mom said, no, if I would, Piti tumba vola, if I would. And I'm just sitting here like, it's not my fault. He slipped into my jacket.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sitting here crying. And she was just like, she didn't say nothing. I was like, oh my God. I got home and she was like, I was about to just go to my room. She was like, no, I shouldn't. I was crying the whole way down. I
said, and then she started beating you. She didn't even touch you yet.
She didn't even touch me yet. She went, and what she got? She got a doggone Cecil, bruh. She got a hanger.
Oh, they love a plastic hanger, guys.
I might as well have just passed out. I felt my heart beat its last beat in that moment. Girl, she went to town on me. From that day, I ain't like my sister. I was like, my sister's the one I got beat. My sister's like, I'm not the one that stole anything, though. And I'm like, from that day.
Ooh.
And then it caused just friction between my sister, like, to the point where, like, me and her were racing. And she was winning, so I pushed her. That's the other whooping that I got that I actually deserved. Because I pushed her, and she ended up skinning her whole knee. Like, she has this
I've done it before. Scar. It's okay.
She has this big old scar right here, right? And she's crying. We're going to the house. I'm like, Mommy, she fell. My sister's like, no, we need push me. My mom was like, she just put it at the ground. I cried the whole way down again. She was like, Ton went.
It's the way for me.
I thought she was gonna go to the room, right? When she started walking outside, I could have just fainted. I could have just fainted. She went out. She got a block from the tree.
Oh my gosh! Why do Haitians use the same utensils? Oh my God!
I could have just passed out then and there. The crying just stopped. I looked at it. By the time she was done with me, boy, that sleep was so good. The sleep.
Not you trying to find the positives. Anywho, we just like to put a disclaimer. Our parents are great. We love them now. We love them now. Like, we appreciate them now. Back then, they were not the best, but they shaped us to be who we are currently.
Yeah.
So
that was my first.
Yeah, we have no trauma lasting because of this. So
that was my.
Don't be concerned.
My second last.
Have you ever ran away from a woman before?
Plenty of times.
Oh my gosh! So I remember one time, it was my mom. We love my mom. She doesn't really whip me too much. She likes to keep it cute. But she took a stick from the tree. Because I used to call it a stick tree or something. And she took the stick and she said, come here now. I took off to the point where, like, I almost couldn't find my way back. And she's like, I said, I gotta go, girl. I don't know what you talking about. You want me to run to my doom? Are you crazy? No, I'm not doing that.
And then you're gonna get hit more because you ran.
And then, you know, they got the come home before the street lights come on.
My parents didn't have that. I was on total lockdown. You better not be outside. If I come home and find you outside, you better
LOL. No, my childhood was very, like, Americanized Haitian household. Like, I actually really like my childhood. Even though
it was, you know, my life was the definition. Like, when you see l'école Lacaille l'église in the dictionary, my picture was right there. I'm pretty sure my house.
No, that was same for me too. It was just more like I could go on church events.
Not even church events. The church kids going out, life events going out, young adults going out. My mom was just like, you stay right here.
And thank God they didn't do that. Thank God they didn't do that.
What, I was gonna steal some more?
No, I'm saying no. Like for me in my life, girl, we all stolen from Walmart before. It's okay. I remember I stole it from Walmart and I was eating it in Walmart. And then my dad, he sometimes the smaller like flits, I feel like it hurts my pride more than like a fat whooping. Like he was just like, you, and I'm like, damn, why I really did something to my spirit? Like, in front of the lady, he's like, Chanel. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
But mom, just her stares used to just, and it was crazy because like every other kid, like, they never used to want to come to my house because it was not only for my dad, it was for my mom too. Like, I'm like, y'all are terrible. This is why they got no friends. Nobody want to come over because of y'all.
Nah, I can't even lie. Like, my house was the spot. Like, my mom was the epitome of like Haitians assimilating to American culture. Like, people could come, nobody could sleep over unless like, nobody could sleep over. But like, I would be playing outside with the boys and like they'd be in the house. My mom, everybody come get a popsicle, like all that stuff. Like, so I really like real life lived the dream. So yes, my mom and dad beat me, and a part of me is just like, use mad unnecessary. I still had like a decent childhood, even though there's some things that like I'm still traumatized by. But
my life was built on school, church, house. And then if we wasn't at one of those places, we was at, like, I can't count how many church services I used to go to a week. Sunday, Monday we was at somebody's house praying. Tuesday was Bible study. Wednesday we had another person's house praying. Thursday I get a little break. Friday night, midnight, bruh. We at the church for Creed and me. We were there till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
About nothing. Saturday
we get not even a break, because then my mom's going to her practice at her church with her group.
Repetition.
She doesn't trust me to be at home by myself, which is fine, because I don't trust myself too sometimes.
So you never got left home by yourself?
No.
Really?
No.
By second grade, there wasn't even me at home. They say, yeah. Take care of your sister.
They don't even like, my sister's staying at home by herself. My sister's 23 right now, or 24. How old are you, babe? I'm 24. She's 24. And like, if they go off to Haiti, they're giving her a babysitter. They're gonna get one of my aunts to go over there and watch her.
There was me at the house when I was in second grade, watching over my sister. So this is why I say like by 2 o'clock or like 1 o'clock, I chronologically, like it was genetically like mutated in me. I used to get home by like 1:50, whatever. By 1:50, like 1:30. Mm-hmm. By 2 o'clock, I'm taking a nap because I'd be so scared. Nobody's home. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna be home till the sun goes down. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep the fear away. Mm-hmm. So I had a red blanket. Let's call it the blood of Jesus blanket. I had a red blanket. I slept on the couch. I woke up. My mom was home. I still did it. That was my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday, I hated Saturdays. TBN. It's Saturday night premieres. Wizards of Waverly Place is about to be the 3-part series where we're going to see if they find a cure for the vampire for Justice Gunther. I needed to see that. TBN. Don't nobody want to watch that. And then really, Saturdays and Sundays, they want me to study for JVQ. I'm not studying for JVQ. My special guest. I don't want to study for JVQ. So for all you JVQ nerds out there, y'all are great. And I'm so glad that y'all studied. Can you give me the Bible verse now? When you're in this situation now, do you have the Bible verse? But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was in the fire. That's the only question I answered. It was a 10-pointer. That's it. They put me on the team for funding, good looks, I never
That's
answered the
refreshing.
question. I swear. And like, big up to CLC for still dealing with me because I never studied. And my mom and dad put me in there. They would always put here's the book, open the book. I sit there on my phone, twiddling my thumbs.
Mhm. I have to admit though, like there's bad things that I'm like, no, I'm not taking that with me when it gets to my parents. But there's good things.
Okay, so what are some of the good things?
Okay. So how much they pray.
Yeah.
Like prayer is so, and my mom is the type of person like, I'm so sorry when like back in like when I first got down here for college, I was going to FAU, and my mom used to be like, "Oh, Whitney, did you pray today? You need to pray. You need to get." I'd be like, "Yes, mommy."
Didn't pray at all.
I ain't talked to God not once.
You bummed for that.
I ain't talked to God not once. I could have said no, but then comes the like, so it depends on the religion, because I feel like my godmother is like very like Pentecostal, very strict, very like religious Pentecostal. Like this, I'm not seeing Jesus because of these.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing Jesus. I need to get them out of my head before I pray. But my mom, thankfully, she has grown out of that. You know,
we thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord.
These Haitian parents need to evolve.
Prayer is one big thing that I got from them, because I never realized how much I needed it, or I would need it, or how much it would guide me if I used it.
I agree. I think something that I'm gonna take as well too, even though this really didn't like start until, well, no, we used to have like Sunday dinners. I remember, like, we used to have Sunday dinners. We used to all just sit on the table, and this when nobody had no phone, so I had no choice but to talk to them. And I real life had a relationship with my family. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, oh no, I real life choose to go eat in my room or like this, that, and the third. But I know like if / when God blesses me with the family, it's like no matter what. So like maybe Monday, Tuesday we can't do it, but Sunday night we're gonna have it. We're gonna have it for sure.
Another thing that I realized, like the way our parents kept us away from watching certain things, mm-hmm. or listening to certain things.
Yeah.
I never understood it. Never understood it until I grew older, and I just feel like your ear gate and eye gate
is so important.
It's so important to guard.
So important.
So important. So Nightmare on Elm Street was not for me no more. The Conjuring, Insidious, I used to watch all that stuff until I realized what it was doing to me and realized what doors it was opening.
Exactly.
So like I can't like stuff that I didn't notice in like secular music before. Now I hear it and I'm like, I can't. This song no more.
Yeah, I agree. Like everybody, like old Drake, old Lil Wayne, all that. I didn't know nothing about that because I was not listening to that in the house. Like even on the radio, all I remember, the only songs I remember is "Blame It on the Juice," "Blame It on the Wrong Day," and then the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. That's it. That's the only type of secular music I would hear is when they have the 99 Jams on. Yeah. But they would try to play that like Christian radio, and I'm like, yo, shut that off. No. Sorry, like shut that off. Like that's not the vibes. It's a Friday night. It's a Friday morning. Like it's the last week of school for a week. Like no, shut that off.
Yeah, I feel like it's so important to guard those down.
Yeah, like, it is.
The things that we can open the door to, and then we like asking God like, hey, where did this come from? And God's just like, yeah, I ain't let that in. You let that in.
Yeah, it's real.
And like, you know, like people like I've seen people like who've had to experience like deliverance and stuff because of the things that they open the door to. Yeah. Because of things that they open the door to. And I don't I have to find that Bible verse. If you could find that Bible verse for me, Dave, that would be great. Where it says, um, the I think it's the demon leaves, and it's if you get him out, then like 7 more come back.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
So I feel like it's like deliverance. I feel like people sometimes think it's like a one-time thing, but you need to actually maintain it. It's not something. It's not something that like it happens once and then you're done. It's like no, now the enemy's gonna be coming for you harder because he's trying to bring 7 more spirits into the game.
Right.
So I feel like especially like you need to be looking at your environment. Okay, what was my environment like when before this deliverance thing needed to happen? Like what are the things that I need to evaluate? What music do I need to cut out? What movies do I need to cut out?
That's real.
I need to be discerning of my even friends, like what people bring into me, because it's like sometimes we don't. Did you find it? What verse is it? Just so we can have Bible verses. Yeah, I don't want y'all thinking I'm crazy. I need to back up my sources.
That part, that way.
Back up my sources.
But no, I agree. Like maintaining deliverance, I think that's something that's like we we talk about the altar and how getting to the altar and having those important moments with God and God like delivering us from like lust or from sin or from addictions and all that. But like getting delivered is just as important, but even more important is like maintaining deliverance as well too. Because I know for me, and I can only speak from personal experience, like let's say I had an issue with like music and all that, because I did. No, let me stop being vague. Let me be clear. So we've all had issues in life with like lust and like just looking at things you're not supposed to, all that stuff, whether we don't understand it or not. So I remember I got delivered from that. And then I'm like, okay, how do I stay like this? Yeah. Because I like this. How do I stay like this? And I think sometimes we make like walking with Jesus too over spiritual, too ethereal. Like sometimes it's I'm not gonna open social media till 12 p.m. in the day. Sometimes that like alone is such a good boundary to set. That way you can stay delivered. Or like there were certain movies where like my friends would be watching that movie and I'm like, no y'all, I can't watch that. No tea, no shade. And like we'll be watching the movie like it's a series and I'm like, nah, can't gang. Like I just can't. So like I think those are practical steps to staying delivered, like watching what you're listening to and all that stuff, watching who you be around. If you know you have an issue with this, and this, let's say you know you have an issue and you don't want to like smoke anymore, you don't want to listen to certain music anymore. You know, them people in there want to listen to that music and they finna bump it driving 95 miles an hour down commercial. You're gonna get pulled over and don't say nothing about it neither when you do. But like you have to put yourself in the area where like that new version of you that got delivered thrives. Like you can't put like new wine in old wineskins. That's the best I can say. That's the best I can say. When Lazarus was resurrected, the first thing Jesus said was for them to remove his grave clothes. And I think that's like so powerful because it's like I think it was Cecilia Matthews when she came to CLC. Let's talk about it because I wasn't there, y'all. So give me the deets. So she said, I think either her or somebody else I can CLC. I'm not sure. If you recognize who said it, please comment. But she said, or whoever said, the altar causes you to be altered. So like every time we come to Christ, every time we get closer to him, it just causes us to change in certain ways. Like it's almost like when you hang around people, certain things about you are bound to be changed, even if it's your vision and stuff. So when we come to Christ, we're bound to get changed. Yeah. That proximity to him is bound to cause us to change in certain ways. So I feel like when it came to Lazarus and resurrecting him, like Jesus telling him to remove his grave clothes is just significantly symbolic to say, okay, like he's not where he was. Yeah. He's not where he was.
he's not dead. He's in a different place. He's alive.
Exactly.
So I feel like when it comes to us, like especially when it comes to deliverance, I feel like we need to start evaluating what were our grave clothes. We need to remove those. We need to shed those. We need to, you know, it takes a lot of analyzing and it takes a lot of evaluation. I need to be real with myself. Where have I opened doors? What have I been doing? What was my routine? What do I need to change?
Yeah.
And then I need to get closer to God, because as you get closer to him, sometimes it's not only you doing the evaluation, it's him doing the evaluation for you. And he's just like, some things just won't feel right to you anymore.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay, I need to get rid of this, or I need to get rid of that. So I feel like even the most important out of all those things when you get deliverance is proximity to the one who delivered you.
Period. But the verse that she was talking about was Matthew 12. We're reading the English Standard Version. It's 43. It says, when an unclean spirit has gone out of a person, it passes through waterless places seeking rest, but finds none. Then it says, I will return to my home from which I came. And it comes and it finds house empty, swept, and put in order. Then it goes and brings with it 7 other spirits more evil than itself. And they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that person is worse than the first. Also will it be with this evil generation.
It's time to clean house. It is time to clean house.
It is. I think, and also sometimes I think as well too, like, I think my generation, even though I'm going to say it here first, I do not claim myself as Gen Z. I think I'm a Zennial, is what I like to call myself, because I feel like I have the morals and values of a millennial, but the chronological birth date of a Gen Z.
So she just created...
Lock in. Okay. But, no, yeah. So I think with, like, sometimes the Gen Z, because, again, that's not where I reside in, I think it's such a rebellious spirit sometimes. Like, sometimes it's just like, you just don't want to do it because you just don't want to do it. Like, you just don't want to listen to authority. And it's like, I find myself like, there'll be some moments where I'm like, I don't want to listen to you. And I'm like, ooh, where did that come from? Because if this person, like, we all, at some point, like, in our hearts, we aspire to be like certain people. So, like, there's athletes that want to be like LeBron or like Patrick Mahomes, and like us as Christians, we aspire to be like other Christians or like emulate their lifestyles and all that stuff as well. And I just feel like you think you're gonna get to the places that you want to go, be successful, be a music producer, be this, be that, and you're having a rebellious spirit, especially if like you grew up in a Christian household, you kind of like, and you know you're not going nowhere else. Like you're just like, that's where you're gonna be at. Like, why be rebellious? I have a hard time thinking about it, but then it's like I have to bring myself back to the point where I was at. Of like, that's all I knew. All I knew was to rebel. All I knew was to like, no, I'm not doing it your way. Just because I don't want to do it your way. And like, there'll be moments where real life, I'm like, that way is so much better.
Yeah. I
don't care though. I don't care. I'm doing it my way just off of pride. Like, it says in the Bible, pride comes before destruction. Like, pride, man, like, and you know what's so crazy? I should never watch this, but the anime called The 7 Deadly Sins, it was a great anime. Sorry. And the Lord delivered me from that anime. He said, stop watching it. I said, ooh, got you. I finished it. And then he said, stop watching it. But I said, it's done now, so I got you, Lord. But, and he had so much pride. Like, this little character, Sin, had so much pride. And his name was Pride. Like, he was called the Pride Sin, all that. Like, pride will real life rob you and make you think that you're so, like, you're good.
Like, and people don't realize that pride presents itself in like different ways. They're like, people mostly, you hear pride and it's just like, oh, I think I'm better than anyone else. That's not the only place pride is at. Like, even when I felt like I didn't want David to do certain stuff for me,
pride.
That's a form of pride. the things that I feel like, okay, like if I'm doing my job, I feel like, oh, you know, if you're at your job and you feel like you're better than everyone, you do your job with pride. When you don't want to let God take over or give him control, pride. So it's just like, you got to dig deeper. It's like evaluating yourself is so hard because it's like, you know, you look at yourself and if you find no fault, that's pride. We're human, so we're gonna have fault in a lot of places. But like once you evaluate it and stuff, and God starts showing it, exposing you, that's the hardest part. You get closer to God, and God just starts exposing you. It's not pretty.
He be like, you can't do that no more.
It's not
I'm
pretty.
like, why are you yelling? Back up off me, King. But then we don't want to lose the presence. Amen.
Amen.
But I definitely think pride is such a big thing that like stops the church, especially like I think pride, even when it comes to like older people that have, you know, been following Christ their whole lives and stuff like that. I feel like they're still like, if our mission is real life to reach people, you cannot be prideful, especially as like if you're older. Like you grew up in a generation that like everybody idolizes now, like the 90s. Everybody want to be from the 90s. Everybody want to listen to the music from the 90s, just like the 90s, all that. So like if you know 90s, 80s, all of that. So I feel like for older adults, I feel like they be so stingy sometimes. So like stingy in terms of like they be prideful, like they don't want to learn anymore or like hear what a younger person has to say. And I think that's such a big thing that's like, no.
And I feel like in this it's going to be harder because I feel like just in this time period, like God has been raising the younger people.
Yeah.
He's been raising like you're seeing younger people just in not only in their word but like spreading the gospel. You're seeing
in
younger
different
people
ways.
in social media. You're seeing younger people preaching and stuff like, oh my God, like there's Josh Carter. He's young.
He's young?
Josh Carter? He's not young?
No, he's not.
He's not?
No tea, no shade, but I think he's 40.
You can't be serious.
No.
I thought he was like
35. Our special guest audience said he was about 35. Somebody fact check us in the comments. We're gonna get the real life information.
We're going to. But I just feel like God's been raising up just younger people.
Yeah.
And stuff. And you know, like with the revival that happened at what's that college?
You talking about that college?
Yes.
I know I know what college you're talking about.
So I just feel like younger people, it's like, and even kids. I've been seeing videos with like kids, you know, catching the Holy Ghost or speaking in tongues or like kids.
Really?
Yeah, I've been seeing that. And so I just feel like you cannot be prideful when it comes to the work of God, because God can find
anybody
and use anyone that he wants to.
Exactly.
And it might not be you.
Ooh.
So you can't be prideful about that.
We all want to be used by God, but we gotta clean house first.
You need a steward, not only what you have, but yourself. That's one thing. Everybody's always trying to steward your stuff or what you possess. How about yourself?
I think that's a big thing. I think I just realized that recently in life. Like, I realized, like, I don't take good care of myself. Like, I make sure and try to take care of everybody else. Like, I'll go top down. Like, how are you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically? Like, and I'll give them a full analysis, break down everything they gotta do. But me, I will come home, like, not do as much or whatever. Like, even with just like little things about taking care of my mind, my spirit, my emotions and all that stuff, I just wouldn't take care of myself. And then I realized, I'm like, this is just not how to live. Like, it's just not. And I made it like an Instagram post, and I'm just like, I just spent time with myself. Like, I just sat down.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Gag. Follow me on Instagram. Don't, actually. I'm private. I'll block you. But I made an Instagram post, and I'm like, I think everybody should just spend some time with yourself. And I think another thing that was so important, I was watching where my thoughts were going. Like, I was just sitting there and I'm like, why am I thinking about that? Or like, why am I not thinking about this? And like, what popped up on my Instagram feed, because I was scrolling on Instagram a little bit, to make me feel like this. And I think that's how you also analyze as well too, and get to the root causes of why you do this or why you do that. And stewarding over yourself is not just self-care, it's soul care as well too. Like, what is feeding your soul? Like, what are you doing that has no, you really get nothing from, you really don't gain anything physically, but you gain everything spiritually or like emotionally or mentally. Like, so I've realized that, like, not just, like, you don't, if you taking care of everybody else and you're not taking care of yourself, that's not love your neighbor. That's not love your neighbor as thyself. That's not that.
It's not.
It's not that. So, like, I've learned to steward over yourself. Like, ladies, whether that's taking a bubble bath, getting your nails done, doing your own hair, and not spending $500 on these scammer swiper braiders. But
I'm gonna pay.
Some of y'all,
because I'm not touching my own head. I'm gonna pay. Lord Jesus. Sorry, I'm paying. Don't look at me like that, Janelle. Don't look at me. I'm paying. I'm not touching my head. I just transitioned to natural, y'all. It's the struggle. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna pay that money. I'm gonna work extra hours. I'll work overtime just so I can afford this hair.
Oh, you see, that's giving such poverty mindset.
Ain't no way.
Shade.
Ain't no way I'm touching it.
OT
Ain't no
was
way.
some large box braids for $200.
Oh, these were like $200 something dollars. This is medium.
What did you say? How much it was for?
200 something.
For what?
For these braids.
For large knotless?
For these braids.
There's 15 braids in your head. You let that girl charge you $200?
There's not 15 braids in my head.
That's how you walk when you in the Lululand. Like, you just skip down the yellow brick road. I can count how many braids are on your head right now. Even that girl charged you $200. No, see, I'm pretty sure you did great work. But like, for real?
And it's great. And it's long.
How long is this? Is it 58 inches?
I don't know. It's 48 combined, to make it longer.
So like 80?
Mm-hmm. It look good, right? Special audience? Yeah. It look good. It look good.
She said, look good. $200 for a shrug is crazy, but it's fine. No, but on a more like serious note, take care of yourself, y'all. Guys and girls. Not a guy, so I really can't speak to y'all.
Yeah.
Go play ball. Go outside. Get off the game. Screaming at that. Get off the game. Get off the game. Get off the game. Get off the game, y'all. Go outside.
Screaming at that 2K, that Madden ain't gonna do nothing.
It's not gonna do nothing. It's not gonna do nothing for you. You building your hand-eye coordination skills, and you're not even doing nothing with them. No, seriously, like for real. I remember when I used to play outside.
I never used to play outside, so I
You
don't
know,
know.
so sorry. No, I will say that boys do be going like outside more and like play ball and like do that. Girls, we be inside. We be doing way too much. But get off the game, y'all.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Take care of yourselves for real.
Because get therapy. Therapy is great.
Ooh.
Shout out to Deborah Richula.
Yeah.
Again, because I think I talked about her in my last video because we went to the marriage conference. But she is a therapist. And, I can't. Therapy is so good. Like, people think, especially as Christians, sometimes therapy comes with a stigma.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to come with a stigma, especially when you go to a Christian care-centered one. I just feel like they help you navigate what you can't navigate on your own. And those people, I would consider, to me, therapists are almost like intercessors themselves, like helping you navigate, go through what you're going through.
That's good. That's a good point.
So I just feel like if you need therapy, go get the therapy. If you need to talk to the Lord, talk to the Lord. I just, don't be like me when my mama was asking me if I was praying and I wasn't praying for real. Or when my mom was asking me if I was reading my Bible and I wasn't doing it for real. Now I do it. If you ever watch this video, Mommy, I love you. I pray and read my Bible now. And especially when I had met David, I was praying and reading my Bible. So that was years ago, I got serious with my relationship with God. So I realized that the Word, if you're not just reading it, like if you're actually understanding it, studying it, holding it in your heart, it does something. The enemy can't just come at me any sort of way. Because when he came at Jesus, when he was trying to tempt Jesus, Jesus got back with him.
Is written.
with the word. So I feel like once I had the word actually written in my heart, I felt like the enemy couldn't come at me any sort of way. Like,
Yeah.
the Whitney you dealt with 5 years ago isn't the Whitney now. I dare you to try to come at me the same way. I dare you to try to come at my husband the same way. You're going to get knocked out.
Get into it.
I will knock and buck with the word
No,
of Jesus
if you
Christ.
up. No, if you up. Yeah, no. But I don't know. I think for me, once I get my money up, not my money up, I'm gonna go get therapy. I don't necessarily think anything's wrong with me. I feel like I've done a good amount of digging. No, there is something wrong with me. I think there's also something I could like work on. But I just think that like therapy is useful. Because I feel like people that go to therapy, they're just so self-aware. And it's like the fact that you're so self-aware can make you be a better friend, a better husband or wife, or a better daughter, a better son, a better athlete, a better student, a better doctor.
It just helps you be a better
It
self.
just helps you be a better self altogether. And I like to operate at my best self. So when I get my money up, I think I might go to therapy. Maybe like once a week. Once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks.
I remember when I started going to therapy, they were like, okay, I'll see. It was like a Monday. It was like, okay, I'll see you Wednesday. And I was like, I'm that bad. I'm not bad. You need to see you Wednesday? Not like next week. She's like, I'll see you Wednesday. And it was like, as I got better, it got less and less. Less and less. But I must say, it's almost like therapy, for me at least, I'm just speaking for my situation.
Yeah.
It got worse before it got better. Because with each session that I went to, God was literally using those sessions to pull out the roots of what I was going through. Like I was dealing with there was some things that I was dealing with at the surface, but I felt like as I kept going, God kept digging and digging and digging, and then out of me came the one thing, and that thing almost broke me. It almost killed me. But thanks to God, I'm still here today, and it just shows me how therapy can be so good. Sometimes I can't navigate. Sometimes I literally need a translator for my own thoughts.
And that's okay. Like, as we think a lot of thoughts, especially as like this generation, we just overthink so much. We overthink so much. Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I told
Let's talk
David.
about it.
We had gotten into an argument about the podcast, and we were talking about content creation, and literally, I overthink. I'm an overthinker and I'm a processor. So David is the type of person who wants that answer right away. I'm trying to navigate what I'm thinking, because at the moment I don't even know what I'm thinking. I'm going to tell it to you, you're going to be like, what? And then you're going to get even more upset. So I told him I don't want to talk.
See, that's not.
And I did.
You could have just communicated.
Headphones.
I'm navigating my thoughts right now. Give me a second.
That's not how I said it.
But
So
now
then,
for
in the-
next time.
Yeah, for the next
Right,
time.
right,
But in the
right.
morning today, this actually happened last night.
That part, that way.
So this morning, I woke up, and then I was like, okay, do you want to talk? And he was like, no, I don't want to talk. I don't have anything to say. Because now he's upset. So the first thing I did is I came to him and I was just like, I'm sorry. I apologize that I didn't want to speak to you.
Kill your pride, period.
I didn't. It's not that I didn't want to speak to you, but I'm overthinking. And at that moment, to communicate to you as best as I can, I need to know what I'm thinking before I tell you what I'm thinking. So I told that to him. He said his sorries, and then we went through it. That's how it happens usually. That's how we get through our battles of communication and stuff. Before, when we just got together, these things used to be a couple of days. We just be in here like, it used to be like he's speaking English and I'm speaking Creole, and we not getting each other. But now it's just like, just give us a night to sleep over. And I know people say don't go to bed angry and stuff, but sometimes me and David need that. We need a rest. We need to rest our mind, and then we're able to organize our thoughts and then speak to each other.
Period. And I think that as long as it works for you, it works for you. Like, not everything. There's some advice that's universal, and there's some advice that sure is universally applied, but it does not necessarily apply to. Like, it just doesn't. Like, some people, they go out they, take a shot or whatever, and like that's how they do, and that's how they like go out and have fun or whatever. And it may seem like it's universally applied, but for me, that doesn't apply. Like I go out, no chaser. It's up and it's stuck. But the point is, I think that's good that you were able to like decipher like yes, or like see throughout your marriage like yes, this is not supposed to be what we're supposed to do, but it works for me.
Yeah.
And as for me,
yeah,
God will redeem.
Every marriage is gonna have their formula.
Ooh, that part.
Every marriage is gonna have their formula, and there's just certain things. It might not work for others. Others might have to work it out right then and there. But literally, me and David need a breather, and sometimes I need to skip my pride and just, even if I'm telling him my emotion, then that'll help him navigate whatever he's feeling in his head or thinking in his head better. Like at that point, I told him, I'm frustrated, I'm upset. So even if he knows that, he's just like, okay, like at least you're not hiding it from me or trying to say like, oh, I'm okay, and you're not really okay. So then we can sleep on it, and then we get up and it's just like, oh, okay. And that's one thing, we're never ever, I said it in our last podcast because I made a video with David too, even though I was frustrated, which was really hard, but we got through it. We will never ever, like, I'm never ever gonna get upset and tell David go sleep on the couch. You're not.
That part, that way.
You're not going nowhere. You're going to sleep on our bed.
That's good. That's good. So if you would describe your marriage as a math formula, what would it be?
Honesty.
No, like a real life math formula from math class.
A real life formula from math?
Yeah.
We're like the quadratic formula, bro.
That was good. That was good. You pulled that off the dome. That was good.
We can be that complicated, but at the same time, it's just so much factors come in, and it's just like it's we have a mission when we work together, and it all comes together.
That's good. You picked a good formula. Go off. But,
right. I think we're gonna end this.
Yeah, I think it is. So that's the end. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe.
Subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out on one of the best podcasts ever. Because there are podcasts out there that I like. I think I'll talk about that in the next podcast.
No,
Just
they're
a
not
shout
giving
out.
us promo.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
They're not giving us no way to promo. Anyways, you're
Whitney.
And this is Janelle. And this is Real Talk with Ramos.
You be saying that at a different tone of each time.
But
I
you
go
just
high.
never as excited as me. I think that's the issue.